It's New Year's Eve and no one showed up. So us crew is playing sorry. 3. 1, 2, 3.
You can't play.
Hashtag sorry, not sorry.
4.
Damn.
You know how I do hashtag? What are you guys doing?
We're playing sorry.
My chair?
We didn't think you were going to show up, so we just started playing sorry.
Well, the sad thing is this is so much better than our show.
It is.
Good evening, welcome to Off Constantly. I'm your host, Bamba, your weekly. Can I start over? Because
You're doing great.
Okay.
You're doing great.
ADD theater and pop culture extravaganza. With me, as always, is Samurai
Hello, welcome today.
and Backwater.
When do we get to talk about soil?
Backwater got stung by a bee. Sitting in for Backwater because don't know where he is, and it's New Year's Eve, so we assume he is passed out in a gutter face down with spider monkeys crawling down his pants. Might join us, might not, we're not sure. The ambulance said that it was possible he might be back. So in the meantime, Dave's going to sit in for him, or W, sorry. So what's going
Sounds
on,
good.
W? Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Tell the viewers at home about you, because all we know is that you soil a lot.
Okay, my name is D.W. Bauer. I'm one of the producers, and I direct this fine program. And
Awesome program.
yeah, I've traveled the Upper Midwest looking at soil,
The world.
the world, or the
So-
Upper Midwest.
To some.
So I've dug a lot of holes, probably more holes than anybody watching.
In the old days, before...
Were you on the show Holes in that book? Was that book?
No,
No?
no.
You didn't go to that camp?
Before Christopher
No.
Columbus came, the country was full of
Settled by
holes
Vikings.
as far as the eye could see. And that's what Dave studies.
Yes.
The Vikings, you think, settled?
Vikings, yeah, they're birthplace of America. I'm from Alexandria, Minnesota, and that's where Vikings came to first. Before Columbus came to America, Vikings discovered central Minnesota.
Minnesota.
How did they end up in a giant toilet
Is that
bowl
where
looking
the-
dome?
Hmm?
How did they end up in a giant toilet bowl looking dome then?
That came later.
Okay.
That was in the 80s, and people wanted to save money.
Okay.
But before they started playing football,
Yeah.
there's this big transition from when they first settled the area, and then they left this runestone where
Yeah,
it talked
the
about how
Kings-
a lot of them, Kensington runestone,
Kensington.
and it talked about how a lot of them were dead with blood. So they didn't get
There's the
along too
hook
well
decks
with
on it.
I've heard of a poop deck, never a hook deck.
There's a hook deck.
What did you say?
So the Vikings came down through Hudson Bay, Lake Winnipeg, down the Red River.
I think Dave fits right in. We've now had 17 subjects. Not one of them was actually about him. All
I come
right.
from Alexandria, birthplace of America.
Well, Dave, I know you direct the show, but just to give you a little intro of what we do here, every week we have talk about 3 subjects for about 5 minutes.
Okay.
We do our best to stay on subject, and never actually happens.
So now that I'm on the show,
yeah.
do I just do what I do in
Well,
the back?
let's not get carried away. You're sitting in for Backwater.
Yeah.
Okay. So when do I start my nap? Usually I start at 3 minutes into the program.
Or you should have already been asleep by now.
Okay.
So, introducing our subjects tonight. Samurai, actually, I haven't asked you how you are. Any
Quiet.
plans coming up? Going
Oh, yeah.
anywhere?
Well, it's New
No.
Year's Eve. It's New Year's Eve.
Oh, wait,
Remember,
it's New Year's Eve.
New Year's
Where
Eve.
are you? She's actually
here.
not here via satellite because this is live.
I'm here.
I know you're here, but
Well, we're going to the bar after, right?
where are you now, though, because it's December 31st?
I'm here.
But in New York City, they're going to do the ball drop a week later this year.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Because I was...
To confuse
you
the
were going
terrorists.
to New York, I thought.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we're live New Year's Eve, so you're broadcasting from New York.
You guys are just.
I was
ruining it.
trying to lead you on there, so.
Thank you.
No problem.
Nice try. Next time.
So the New Year's Eve show, our subjects tonight are Doctor Who.
Who?
Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Doctor.
Doctor Who.
That's Kayla. That's for you. That's her joke. Accidental dirty names. Favorite talk shows.
This
And
one.
we're going to end the evening with a very special New Year's Eve ball drop. And I'm not talking about hitting puberty either. So, emails, Doctor Who. We get our first email here from Mr. Sandval from Andover. We get a lot from Andover.
They're in our demographic.
They are.
Yeah.
You know how they got their name?
We're trending very well in Andover.
We are trending. That's the only place on earth we're actually trending. So.
Andover.
Hashtag Andover.
Holla. Hashtag.
The name Andover came from what?
Bendover's daughter.
Yes. And she was driving a truck.
And
It fell off the road. It rolled over. Over. Over.
Nice.
Nice.
So there you
What,
go.
what about
That
the name
was
for
free.
Lionel Lakes?
Lionel Lakes. Where did it come from?
I used to think it was so cool. I figured there was a Jebediah Lino or something.
There actually was. It comes from the ancient Chinese. They had fast food. First fast food restaurant was actually built in Lionel Lakes, Minnesota.
Speaking of Chinese,
Yes.
our sound engineer,
Yeah.
Al, is learning Chinese right now.
He actually was in China.
And our
Or
camera
Japan.
person,
Where was it, Al? Was it China or Japan? China. Okay, so
China.
he is learning
Yeah.
Chinese. And
Hayden's been helping him. She knows
You
she knows
speak
4
Chinese?
Chinese words.
okay, very good.
Ching
well,
chong
see,
chow.
you learn things just by absorbing the show.
And that means hello and welcome to Off Constantly.
That's awesome.
Ching chai chow.
Ching chai chow.
To all you at home that are enjoying the show, that speak Mandarin or Cantonese or whatever, you're welcome. That was a gift.
And
There's-
for our Korean viewers, Chada Kong, which means cool beans.
and for our Sioux people, Milwaukee, which means Milwaukee. Anyway, this was from Andover.
Well, yeah, what does he say?
He says, can your celebrity connections get Karen Gillian on Off Constantly? Dear Lord, if I could, Amy Pond would be here.
Yes.
Yes. You have no idea what we're talking about, do you?
No.
That's what we love about you.
Woo!
She, see,
He's hot.
she is.
She is.
And I mean, your nerd card, you have one, but it just hasn't been punched that many times.
Yeah. Have you ever seen her? She's just like, and people describe this in interviews, she's just like this, I don't know, just this bundle of energy constantly moving, just so flighty. You think there's no way she can do anything, and then all of a sudden she starts acting seriously.
Who is it?
She has a switch.
She plays Amy Pond on Doctor Who. She was his former companion.
She reminds me of Jennifer Lawrence.
Do you know?
I like her.
You know what surprised the heck out of me about Karen was how immensely tall she is.
Yeah.
She's like 7'4".
No way.
Yeah. Okay, not 7'4",
Yeah.
but she's like 6'4". She's very, very tall. She made Craig Ferguson look tiny. Again, hashtag Craig Ferguson. Craig, we're waiting for you. Another
Craig.
email. Or no, this is actually just a question from a viewer. This comes from who? Dave, can you read that? I can't see what that says there.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, it's from the same guy.
From Hugh Jass from New Brighton, Minnesota. Thank you, Hugh.
Hometown.
They
for
say
ya.
the TARDIS is bigger on the inside. What else is bigger on the inside? Wow.
My heart.
My heart will go on. Our love for the show. Got something?
All I can think of is a donut. I don't know why. Like a jelly-filled donut.
I've never been in a jelly-filled donut.
Oh, dear God, that was awesome.
Bigger, you know, you can smash. I don't know.
They should replace the TARDIS with a jelly-filled donut.
We should.
Because they always got that little hole where they put the jelly in,
What
so
is
that could be the
TARDIS?
door.
A TARDIS? That's the police box.
You know, there's a TARDIS right now in.
In the editing suite.
Yeah. Should we send one of our camera people over to get it?
No, because Brad's probably using it right now.
Oh.
It connects everything.
It's
here,
a
I wanna
TARDIS
should I
server?
draw you a TARDIS? Talk
Is this from
amongst
Doctor
yourself.
Who?
Yes.
Okay, don't watch it.
It's a police box. See, the TARDIS is a time. Oh, geez, I know this stuff. Time,
Hurry, we're losing people
Like
at
a
home.
sensor? Like a
Time and
Buzzbuster?
relative dimension in space. Okay, it's a spaceship that goes anywhere in any place in time, and when it comes to a new place, it analyzes what shape it should take to blend in with the surroundings and then makes a 1960s British police
Now,
box.
I don't mean to get so technical for those of you at home, and for copyright reasons, we can't actually show a picture of an actual TARDIS. However, my artist rendition of it will hopefully give you an idea.
It looks like
It
a
looks like a police call box, like in England.
yeah, 'cause
Like a
it's,
telephone booth.
Right.
it's a 50. Doctor Who's a 50-year-old show in England.
And it's probably the same. I don't, unless the time space
everyone just
continuum
loves
is
it
different in
now?
England.
Yeah.
It's
What?
probably
Everyone just
50
loves it now.
No, they always have loved it.
They've loved it mostly in England, although it was popular in the 80s here. But when Karen Gillan came on,
It's still going on.
Yes.
Are we
I don't
taping the
get it.
show yet?
With
When
the new
do we start
doctor.
taping?
We're losing people. Let's move on. If you were the TARDIS, where would you go anywhere in time and space? Samurai.
Gosh, you can't spring that question up on me.
I just
need to
did.
think. Where would you go?
I would go to Cambodia,
When?
1912,
Why?
because there was a festival.
That's a really difficult question.
It's a really easy
What
question.
kind of festival?
Of nations.
Where they're chopping people's head off? If you're in Cambodia?
Not in 1912. 1960 maybe.
Khmer Rouge, bad stuff.
Yeah. Really bad stuff.
I would go to La Crescent to see
On-
samurai running track.
Oh, I thought you were going to say the birth of samurai, and I'd be
Yeah.
like, dude,
Oh,
that's
no,
weird.
creepy.
No, I heard she used to be a track athlete, so I wanted proof. I was
If you could go anywhere in time and space, that's what you would do.
Yeah.
right.
You have some issues. I would seriously
Well,
look out your windows
scared.
in the evening. You might see someone stalking.
No, see, I've got a couple years on samurai, and I do
couple?
coach track
Let's
and
be
field.
honest.
I coach track and field.
Okay.
And we were comparing notes one day, and Samurai has ran at some of the meets that I was coaching at. I just never paid any attention. So I'd want to go back and pay attention.
Okay.
Anybody want to play careers?
Wow.
Careers.
Sam, now that you've had some time to think about it.
You know, I would want to go back to like Native American times.
Okay, why is that? Tell them
Live
don't
off,
take the
live,
blankets.
live off the land.
Live off the land.
Live off the land.
Yeah,
Life would
I
be a
can
lot
see where that would
simpler.
actually be.
No materialistic
Appealing.
things.
No. If you need something, you make it.
Or somebody else.
I need a baby,
I know
you
what I'd
make
do.
it.
I'd go to Mars right before when the NASA probe lands, and I'd be standing there waiting for it and wave.
I'd like bring a really cheesy, like Spencer's Gifts alien mask and go, welcome, just to freak them out. They'd all like poop their pants.
That'd be good.
I would probably go to the Fort Knox right before they discovered people could steal from it. What the hell are you doing? And then put locks on the doors.
Would you go there the same time that Goldfinger was trying to rob all the... No, he was trying to blow up the gold.
Yes, I would not want that. Somebody just walked in.
Uh-oh.
Oh. So,
There goes.
what time? And the last email.
That's good. I wanted to play games.
The
anyway.
last email coming from a viewer. Thank you, by the way, again. OffConstantlytv.com. OffConstantlytv.com.
OffConstantlytv.com.
Hashtag OffConstantlytv on your Twitter handle.
And tweet us questions, because we'll get to them.
We absolutely will.
Yeah, just
That's where all these came from. I don't know if you can tell this, but this comes from Mike Sandspear in
He's cool.
the who?
I met him.
Have you? Where? What
Mall.
city is he from then?
Shoreview.
How did you know? You do know him.
I know.
Wow.
you know, he's two-faced.
Is he?
Yep.
Yeah.
With all the time you think the doctor ever accidentally landed on the Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders rock? Wait, take two. With all that time, do you think the doctor ever just accidentally landed in the Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders locker room? If he didn't, he is an idiot. You should take that long scarf that he has and choke himself with it. So, moving right along to the second subject, and we'd like to welcome
The broom.
We should do the soil minute before
Let's do the
backwater gets
soil
here.
minute before backwater
Let's do the
gets
soil
here.
minute before backwater comes in.
He's
'Cause then
excited
I
back
could
there.
get back.
Evidently, the ambulance was able to drop him off. They dried him out a little bit, squeezed out his liver, stuffed it back in, and tapped him on his little tuchus to get back in here and finish the show. So, Dave, let's go ahead with Soil Minute.
Okay. Well, I'm D.W. Bauer, talking
W.
about the soil minute.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I'm going to talk to you about soil biology.
Interesting.
Yeah. In soil, the thing that drives our whole world ecosystem are soil microbes. They didn't know that. We only know
That's what I named my first
about
child.
less than 1% of the soil microbes.
That's about how much of my brain I use.
And it's mostly the disease-causing microbes or the ones that fix back nitrogen for our...
That's
What
the
are
other
those called?
99% of my body.
What?
What are those called?
Those bacteria? Those nitrogen-fixing bacteria?
Chlorophyll.
What are those called?
What I asked you.
I don't know. There's a name for them.
Starts with an A?
Really?
Maybe.
I think it starts with an R.
Yep.
I think it starts with an S for Snoresville.
So anyway, there's a lot of microbes in soil. And here's something interesting. There's so many microbes and they have such a short lifespan that that's where the most evolution happens.
You lied.
So,
that
no.
wasn't interesting.
Atrazine is that chemical they use on corn to
It's also a
to kill everything
prescription
else
drug.
except corn. Well, now there's microbes that feed on atrazine, and they've spread worldwide.
Worldwide.
Because as soon as some
On the web?
microbes adapt, they get in the atmosphere and they've spread worldwide.
This is the most confusing soil minute ever. We talked about
I think it's one of the most
prescription
interesting.
drugs, nitrogen animals that eat diseases, and
There's nitrogen-fixing bacteria
then we played a game
that
where
live
we
in the
said
nodules of some plants.
we call it something that starts with an M.
Rhizobium? Ribosome?
Yeah,
Rhizobium?
sure. Riboflavin.
Okay,
Riboflavin.
You just had your nerd card punched.
All right, I gotta get this. I gotta get back to my nap so I can wake up in time for the ball drop.
Okay. Thanks, W. And we'd like to welcome to the show, just in the nick of time. Here we go.
I got the drum roll.
They're not going to stay here forever. Watch us do this. Welcome to Backwater.
Oh, I'm here.
Welcome to the show, yo.
Oh, so where you been?
Felt like I never left. You know what?
You do smell like booze.
That might be because I am actually a beer distributor. So my truck crashed on the way here, and that's why I'm here late.
You crashed a beer truck?
It was
got free beer?
Did you end up at the bottom of the lake and only stayed alive by sucking the air out of the bottles
It was
and
into a pretzel truck, so everybody was happy.
It's not Oktoberfest, though.
Man.
See at the end when he's huge after he
After he drank the vat of.
fantastic.
Remember they ended up at the bottom of the lake and they only stayed alive by drinking the bottles and then putting them back upside down. Hysterical.
What is that?
Strange brew. Bob and Doug McKenzie. Take off, you hoser. No way. From the Great White
way.
North. Crookakoo. Okay, second subject. Accidental dirty names. I recently received an email from someone that said L'Oreal had invented a.
Microphone not good?
Someone had invented. L'Oreal came out with a new product called Chubby Stick, and it got me giggling because I went, "Is that for real?" And then I saw the ad in the newspaper or in a magazine for Chubby Stick.
What is it?
You find me a lady named Chubby Stick, you find me the next Mrs. Backwater. Whoops.
It was the name I used to
Don't tell
dance
your wife
under.
that.
It was also the name of my first tape. The another example, I'm not sure I could say this one on TV because this is a family show, but there is a Chinese restaurant off Rice Street, and it's
Oh, is that one FEX?
Yes.
Yes.
yeah. Well, you said it, so for legal reasons
I
we
mean,
can't
really-
continue. But it's right on, what is it, 36 and Rice?
Fuchs.
Probably.
Fuchs.
Fuchs. Yeah. FU space. I'm going to emphasize the space. So FU space XING. Cafe.
Foujon.
Foujon. I like it.
Yeah.
It sounded French, even though it's Chinese.
I know.
I know.
Fouzing?
Fouzing? Now you're just making stuff up now.
Foujon. Or is it?
So, any other accidental dirty names you can think of? This is going to probably be a really short subject because when we're put on the spot like this, we can't think of anything. And you know what's going to happen? We're going to be laying at home all night and be like, "Ugh, there was that one."
All I can think of is like Dolores, but that's like from Seinfeld.
Yes, and that,
Yeah.
again,
Yes.
Seinfeld.
You don't even know the show. You're like, yes. I've never
the sad
seen
thing
an
is
episode.
I've watched 4 shows, and they're the 4 episodes that everybody always talks
Oh,
about.
so you have seen that one.
I have seen the Dolores one.
Master My Domain.
I've seen that one.
Have you seen the one where they name dirty names of potential dirty names?
No.
That would have been a good one to watch.
Very
to
good
prepare
one.
for this episode.
Because then we would have had something to talk about in this segment.
How about Filth McScum? That seems like a dirty name.
It does. Is it the name of a product?
Is it a product or a name?
Is it? I
Product. Product
Okay.
or restaurant?
Well, or a restaurant.
yeah.
Okay.
feel like there's something like a shake weight, but it's not called a shake weight. You know what I
Shake
mean?
weight. Let's think
Shake
about
weight.
shake weight in itself right there. That's a good one.
Let's think about it in slow motion.
Or how about Blowing Henry?
A what? It's more fun to watch.
I was going to say, like,
But see, the funny
gets
thing is
me
we
with
watch it and it just looks like you and I are having a seizure, and Sam's like the only one that actually looks like one. Because, I don't know. You just
Gotta
do
know
it
how to
so
flow.
eloquently. Yes. It's like if we were to do electricity, you'd be the only one that would look cool, and we'd all look like we were just like white guys trying to dance.
That'd be fun. That'd be a good show.
Let's next show, all robot.
how about
We do robots for the whole
how about
episode.
or maybe the Off Constantly show to like a pairing show, like your Friends to your Seinfeld is Off Constantly to us acting like robots for a half hour.
Doesn't make any sense, but I love it. How about Craig Ferguson?
Well, I know
Ew.
you were going to say that.
It's Greg, isn't it?
Craig. Craig. Not Greg. Greg is a Kinnear, but
He's from
not
Greg
Australia,
Kinnear,
right?
remember
He's
his
from
talk
Scotland.
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 It's actually my favorite accent.
show? If it
Oh,
ain't
well, then you would
Scottish,
love
it's
Craig
crap.
Ferguson.
Greg.
And then his friend Jeffrey Peterson, the gay robot. Skeleton. The gay robot skeleton. What? We're cutting
Good.
off my mic? Okay. Why?
We don't want to hear you.
Are we still filming and everything? Okay, good. Let's kill his mic. All right.
Gosh.
So basically, if we're talking about favorite talk shows, we are talking about
This show.
talk shows that are our favorite. So therefore, we are talking about.
Okay, and we're back.
All right.
So our
that
favorite
back.
talk shows are as follows.
Okay.
Off
Off
Constantly.
Constantly,
Off
obviously.
Constantly.
Everyone at home's favorite talk show, everyone on the internet. This is, by the way, the internet sensation that is sweeping the world. We have viewers now in all 7 continents,
You know what?
including Antarctica, where Metallica just played a concert. And here's what I found interesting about this. They did. They're the first rock band in history to play all the continents. And you know how they played it? Because they played on ice. They couldn't disturb any of the geo whatever around them. So they had to play a concert in boxes. So all the musicians were in plastic boxes. And since they couldn't amplify anything, the audience of 200 scientists had headphones on.
Oh, have you ever done that?
Super awesome.
I know,
Have you
there's
ever done
pictures
that?
of it.
I've done a silent DJ where it's just 2 different DJs playing, and you can like switch back and forth at a music. It was at a music festival.
That's actually something that a business customer of mine just started doing here in the Twin Cities. They're called silent raves because
DJs, yeah.
yeah, you get, well, they're raves. They're everything like a rave, so they got all the lights.
So there's
and
a lot of drums
ecstasy and pacifiers, but and lights, but there's no
Black lights.
sound.
White lights.
Just inside
Yes,
your
just in the
mind.
ears.
Yellow lights.
So people will, and then people never know what you're like listening to if you can switch between them.
You know, every
He didn't
song-
say that. He said that
Oh, well,
he
that's
was,
what it was at this thing.
Well,
every single
what if
time
like
I'm,
one was a slow song, one was a fast song? So you got half the room going,
Exactly. That's
and
what
then half
makes
the
it
song
fun.
going.
That's what makes
So-
it fun.
Would you like to dance?
Would you like to dance?
But it's like a
Yes,
DJ.
I would.
It's cool.
It would be. So like you'd be all like sensuous and stuff, and I'd be like, oh.
They're usually like pretty similar.
If
Or
I
like-
were a DJ, all I would play would be "I Want to Sex You Up" by Colin
Well, it's like their
Band,
own
so-
music. Like they just like DJ their own stuff, you know?
I do. Actually, I don't. I've never. I mean, I go to a club and I'm like, I don't belong here. I'm old. I'm.
Well, I feel like he's the DJ and I'm the rapper. Sorry. You guys get that. Somebody out there gets that.
This is not Fresh Prince or DJ
Let's
Jazzy
just
Jeff.
move on. I'm the king of non sequiturs. So
By the way, because of you in the last show, huh? 30
seconds.
Oh my
Until
gosh,
the
it's
ball
almost
drop?
midnight.
Till Mars. 30 seconds to Mars.
30 seconds.
You ever get
It's almost midnight. Holy smokes. The last thing I was going to say is because of you, I had to go on a tangent, and I am on a biggest Buffalo Tom kick right now.
Oh, snap.
I mean, I've listened to I'm Allowed at least 433 times in the last 7 days. So,
I listened
so very special this evening. We have the New York Ball, and it's going to drop 10,
9,
8, 7, 6.
How did this happen so fast?
5, 4. Wait, it's not dropping quick enough. 4, 3, 2, 1. Happy New Year! Jay, it's midnight.
Oh my god.
So, Happy New Year from Off Constantly TV, everyone. Hashtag us at Twitter and FaceTube us at Constantly. Closing remarks, Jay, New Year's Revolution.
New Year's resolution?
Yes. No,
Build
I
a
said,
sturdier
if you
ball
listened
next year.
correctly, I said New Year's Revolutions.
New Year's revolution, number 9, number 9, number 9. You get it, you get it. These guys aren't Beatles fans, they don't get it.
Okay, Sam.
I don't know. Oh, you say you want to revel.
There's forget it.
And I don't know either. So, those of you who are home New Year's Eve, enjoy your games, enjoy your family, and for the love of God, next time,
Enjoy your
let the
balls.
rookie win. I'm Bamba, and this is Off Constantly.
Bum 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 ba bum ba. Off constantly.